Hey, it's Brad Parker, Crystal Palace fan, and you are listening to the Drunkard United Football Show. It's a parade.
God damn right it is. Sorry, Russ. A little breezy apparently in England this weekend.
Blustery is the word I keep hearing. It's blusters.
It's Jurgen finally got his opportunity to bitch about the wind, and he's no longer
sitting
here.
at home fuming.
It really is. It's tough on him. I get it. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show. Mute right on time. That wasn't exactly off the post. A completely biased recap of the English Premier League is told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, having himself a bit of a day,
It's been a day.
Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing, buddy?
Good. The other thing that annoyed me is I don't know why the English media had to name the storm an Irish name. Feel like that's a bit racist as well. Storm Dara's fucking everything up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, just a blustery Irishman coming through. Fuck off.
Storm Dara, right? You would assume like D-A-R-A, right? No, it's like D-A-R-R-A-G-H. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Irish.
Yeah, because of course it is.
This should be banned from using Irish names for storms.
KLZXY is Kevin. Because
Not quite,
Ireland.
but close.
And of course, on the ones and twos, hitting the mute button right on time, Producer Mel. How we doing over there, Producer Mel?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Drinking, staying with the non-alcoholic sauce tonight because I might have over-imbibed at the Moonshiners Ball. So big shout out to Kane Mixers.
And she's also doing the bit in the wrong fucking segment.
It's my segment.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, streaming live every single Monday night. We got the invite for TikTok. We're trying to figure out how to do it.
I am working on it right now as we're doing the show.
Yeah.
Well, it's working on it from a streaming service is the problem, right? It's like most of the time you just do it live. You do it from your phone, right? That's the whole bit. So getting that figured out has been the difficult scenario.
At least the one thing tracks. Brad's right. This is a parade.
It is a parade. My wife's a fucking parade. My marriage is a fucking parade. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Sorry, you
over there, stud.
You caught me right in a moment.
Yeah.
It's been a day, as I said. I'm getting a little tired. You could just Facebook message us pictures of your new adorable dog. That'd be great. Just do that. Sam Graham and Sam Houston on Facebook. We love seeing those things.
Yeah, dogs.
If you want to get in touch with the show, though, it's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. But sure, Billy, keep the corgi pics a coming.
You gotta get a dog from a ma. A what? A dog from a ma. You mean a dog for your mum? Yeah, that's not what I said. Dog for ma. You want a caravan?
Yeah, that's good.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hands throughout this show and every single show. I'm proud to say next week we should be starting the Whiskey Advocate Top 20
Hopefully.
list, as we talked about it on Soundcheck, but we've got it just about complete. But you were able to get your hand on what I personally think is one of the unicorn of unicorns.
One of the best bottles of whiskey I have ever had in my hands.
Fucking tell us about it, dude.
So this is the William LaRue Weller Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is one of the BTEC collection I was fortunate enough to get my hands on over the last week. I've indulged a bit too much if you can see.
It'll be going into the cabinet and not being touched
And not being
for a
touched
minute.
again, probably until this new kid's born. And then it won't be touched again until next Christmas.
Yeah.
This one comes in at 124.7 proof. That's 62.35% by volume. Looked it up yesterday. This one's been aged a little over 12 years, and it is fucking delightful.
Of the BTAC stuff, it is hands down the best.
I did put a touch of water into one the first day I got it. Did about this much of a pour, drank half, touch of water, drank the other half. Water did open it up a little bit, gave it a bit more depth, but even neat it's just good. It's just good. It's heavy caramel. You gotta let it sit on your tongue, let that alcohol burn off a bit.
Oh yeah, or else it just tastes hot.
It just tastes hot. But once you do that, I mean, the little bit of toffee in there, even some chocolate notes on the end. It's delicious. This whiskey, it really is.
If you were able to find it on the shelf, which you cannot, what kind of price point are we talking, Mr. Graham? Typically,
Retail typically is between $1,000 and $1,400. I did not pay that because I have my ways.
yeah.
I have my things about me that I get stuff done. It wholesales for a lot cheaper than that. The whole supply and demand thing.
Yeah.
And it does retail for way more expensive because most retailers say, why are you making more money on this bottle than me? Same thing Raj did with Whistle Pig. They look at that secondary market, see what they're going for, and then they charge close to, if not the entire secondary value on their shelf for that reason.
Right.
So all of you bourbon resellers, instead of collecting or drinking
Opening
whiskey,
the bottle and sharing it with friends.
because that's what whiskey's for, have kind of fucked it for everybody in that sense.
Well, it's also, we've talked about this when we do
Some people do this as their job.
Yeah.
They get in tight with store owners, they drive around and they try to find allocated bottles and they split some of the secondary cost with them.
Yeah, of course.
It's ridiculous.
Now, what we've done and what has gotten us the ability to be able to get the things that we get is they know we're going to crack that bottle. We're going to talk about it on this show, and then we're going to share it with friends. Particularly when it comes to the top 20 list, they know we're going to share it with all of our friends. So people will actively go, like I had on Saturday, a manager at a store found a bottle of one of the ones we were looking for, and he knows that I'm going to open that bottle and have people drink it. And he was like, well, I'd rather have him have it than I put it up on the shelf, somebody buy it and go sell it secondary market. Oh, but it's delightful. Mel, would you like to have a little sip?
Sure.
You also famously finished a bottle of this with Mike Rice at his wedding week in
Yes.
Puerto Rico.
Yes, Mike was able to procure a bottle. There was supposed to be more people coming, but this was right as we were coming out of COVID. And it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mel?
she's just shaking her head yes.
yeah.
It's a lot better than that Johnny Walker Red Mark Makers I had the other day.
Poison, dude. Poison.
There was supposed to be more of
I didn't know your whiskey had 4 names.
Yeah, exactly. There was supposed to be more people coming to Mike's wedding, but obviously we were just coming out of COVID, so there was just travel restrictions and issues and stuff like that. Well, Mike had gotten a bottle of this. He brought it down, and the plan was to have it drank there. So his father-in-law was with us, and he had a glass. He and I finished it. He and I finished that bottle. We drank that for 2 straight days. We drank that bottle, smoked fucking Cuban cigars. Like, it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
In a pool in Puerto Rico.
It's excellent.
We classy like that motherfucker.
I mean, you really can't beat it. It is. I've got a George T. Stagg and I've got a Handy. You've had both of those.
They're both very good.
They are quite good. This is far and away this.
Yeah,
this is it.
And I'd been telling you it for a while. I was like,
I know, and I tried to get the account to. I tried to talk them into letting me get an Eagle Rare 17, and I said I would take a LaRue as a backup. I said, of course you can say no. It's no problem. Won't change our relationship. But all the sales rep shit I'm supposed to say.
Right.
And I said, but I have been looking for this. I'm about to have my 4th and probably last child. If you could hook me up here. It'd be greatly appreciated.
Huh.
And I said, I'll still donate to your charity because the way this account runs their shit is you have to buy in to get to the bourbon room,
Right.
which then you're offered an opportunity to buy these at regular retail price. What would be a typical markup of 30 to 35% on
Right.
a 750.
Right. Not the
$1,000. Exorbitant, right? But it's $250 to get into the bourbon room.
Right.
All of that money is collected and then given to a children's hospital.
Oh, that's very good.
So then it's done. At that point, it's done like a white elephant. You pick a number, whatever. You open a bag. Oh shit! Pass. But then you go to the end of the line.
Right.
Or yeah, I'll take it. And then if somebody else gets something, oh, do you want to trade? You seem disappointed when I picked this one. Do you want to trade for that one? So, and then you can do that.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. It's just like kind of a community thing, and the manager at the end of it said normally most people end up cracking the bottle in the fucking room
Right.
and just sharing with each other anyway, which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. So
Yeah. Very cool.
I was like, I'll
Again.
still donate to the charity. Let me skirt the room. These are the two things I want. I won't ask you for anything for the next 5 years.
Yep.
That's kind of the.
What else should we do, Mr. Graham?
Always remember to drink responsibly.
Especially with a gem like this.
And it's the Riedels.
Yeah. I broke out the good glasses for this one. You got to. Dad, you got to break out the good glasses for this one.
It is.
One more
I mean,
quick
just
sip.
look at the fucking color of it. It's delicious, this thing. Yeah, I think it's about 12 years, 6 months is what I looked up yesterday. They age this one. And every batch is different.
Right.
Which is awesome.
We open with a derby called off.
Felt it was windy like crazy. People love when I talk about the wind, but it was windy and it's not good for football. And so we had really to work hard.
But the city, just 35 miles away, would have much preferred a postponement as well, because no go so good in the city of Manchester this weekend, Mr. Graham. Crystal Palace 2, Manchester City 2, Nottingham Forest 3, Manchester United 2.
The funniest thing I've seen, even collectively between the two games, is people are referring to Ruben Amorim, the man you refused to learn
who's
his
that?
name.
Yeah.
They're calling him Ruben Interim.
Yeah. Makes sense that that's what he'd already been.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. Palace were up early. Munoz got on the end of it. We said last week, I mean, he had, 3 bites at the cherry last weekend,
Yeah.
not over the midweek.
Right.
And it couldn't, took him to the third one to finally score, which is probably the hardest chance of the lot.
Right, of course.
This time he pounced on, it was 4 minutes in, pounced on one and finished. City just looks so fucking disjointed, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's no cohesion. They're sloppy as shit, giving a ball away. There doesn't seem to be any invention. Even De Bruyne looked devoid of ideas.
Yeah.
For large stretches of this game.
Yeah, it was.
They look disinterested is probably the best word I could use. The City squad looked disinterested.
And what's funny, though, is Palace has this in their pocket. They've done this a few times to City. They've drawn them a few times. They've surprised them a few times. So it wasn't a shocker to see that they were up early. And Holland finally gets a goal, but, he had one just stolen from him by Dean Henderson just 10 minutes earlier.
Yep.
But even then, it was just like, it wasn't really all that impressive, Like,
Not at all.
They had a lot of possession, but it didn't really seem like they were. Yeah,
They weren't doing anything with it.
they put one off the post, but Palace put one off the post.
The highlight package didn't even show City doing anything for the opening 20 to 25 minutes. Besides that one Holland chance, like you said, Dean Henderson saving. That was it. Now, in 30 minutes, Holland obviously gets his goal.
Yeah.
But I never really worried for Palace. It didn't look like City wanted to press on and drive the point home.
No,
At all.
Normally, if a team goes up on City, they get that equalizer. They score that, second and third goal pretty quickly after that equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just never really there until the second half. And let's go ahead and talk about Rico Lewis's journey, I guess we will call it.
Yeah. Well, first you had LaCroix. Mm-hmm. He's obviously lemon flavored because that's the best selling one. With a towering header, just absolutely rising above the lot to equalize. Or no, I'm sorry. That was putting them back in front, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then City looked like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And they started to push. Rico Lewis. Couple of bits of good football. Great finish for his goal. Was fantastic. That was the best piece of play City had the entire game.
Yeah, it was.
And then he got fouled. But because he went in so recklessly, they sent him off instead.
Yeah, well, what I also love is...
Which was brilliant.
But also before that, he gets a yellow card for dissent.
Yeah.
On a foul he wasn't even involved in. It was a foul on De Bruyne, and it was like...
It was stupid.
Dude, what are you doing running your fucking mouth, right? And on that second one, I do think that I would say it probably wasn't a yellow card because it looked like he got underneath the foot. Like he didn't even really kind of tackle through. So, and the thing
well, that was the thing is he went diving in. He's off the ground.
Oh, it was...
Studs were up, but he missed the player.
He missed him completely.
I can't
Chalobah.
remember.
It was Chalobah.
No, Chalobah plays for some... Oh, yeah, it was Chalobah.
It was Chalobah.
That's right. I forgot he moved on from Chelsea. Chalobah ended up...
It's the annual Chelsea to Palace loan.
Loan deal, yeah.
That happens every year.
Landed on top of his foot.
Yeah.
But because he went in so recklessly, and Chalobah... I mean, hitting Rico Lewis was a result of him clearing the ball away.
Right.
So I don't know that necessarily would have been a foul either, per se. But... that ends up getting Rico Lewis the red because he went in, he flew in so recklessly that they were like, this is a dangerous play, which you can obviously get a yellow card for.
And that's a second yellow card. And it's also not reviewable by VAR. So VAR can't overturn because it was an error. It was absolutely an error and it shouldn't have been called. But you go in that hard, you give the ref a fucking decision to make, man. Like, if he just gave you a straight-out red, they could have looked at that.
I mean, normally we see that called a penalty.
Right.
To be honest. We normally see that called on the defensive player no matter what. It was kind of refreshing to see it called on Rico Lewis.
Yeah, yeah. It was... so...
Because he did go in recklessly. I mean, this is where, years ago, Jamie Carragher got caught flack for saying you can foul somebody without actually touching them.
Yeah.
Because of this dangerous play and reckless nature of a tackle kind of
absolutely
asterisk that's in these rules, right? That's in these laws. And this is absolutely one of those cases, in my opinion. So it's kind of refreshing to see, you know, like I think Christian Romero, for instance, for Spurs could have been sent off 3 more times than he has been in the last few years because of the reckless nature of his challenges.
Oh, yeah. He goes in hard.
So it's nice to see a referee do this. To be honest, for once, but it was still a bit harsh, I think.
And
to be fair,
and with that, he's sent off. And honestly, there's not much in the game after that. There's a few chances for each side, but not anything.
There was a lot of it was really exciting for 10 minutes, and then it all went to shit.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of that.
There's a lot of brilliant Barclays for 10 minutes, and then the rest of it was fucking Serie B.
We're gonna talk about the second the second segment is gonna be how 2 games were fantastic in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and that was it.
What I do want to say before we move on is Eza again was absolutely fantastic in this game. And I'm gonna re-mention it, but I want to lay the groundwork now. There are 2 players that Arsenal need to buy to help.
Okay.
That sustain the title challenge and possibly get over the line. And one of them is Eza.
I don't think Palace is going to sell him in the winter.
No.
Yeah.
Not for
next
what
year.
we'll need him to sell for.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, this is going to be a £70 million transfer next summer.
Yeah.
But we need a backup for Odegaard.
Yeah.
That's clear. He was not the same player when he got tackled. We'll come on to all that shit later.
Right.
We need Eza. I want Eza.
And what's the second?
The second is Anthony Robinson because we have no left side.
Heard. Very good.
We need Anthony Robinson from Fulham, who we drew. That'll be another $45 million, I'm sure.
Forest and United was kind of a crazy match. Really all over the fucking place. And Forest,
all of the Forest goals were so preventable.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah,
it was so bad. United's defending was so bad.
Oh, especially the third one, which we'll get onto at the end. But the Forrest comes out scoring quickly. Boom, right off the jump.
90 seconds. Took him 90 seconds.
At Anfield. At Old Trafford, like right off the jump.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, just the whole thing is a fucking Looney Tunes operation. How many times do you have to say it? It's announced prior to the kickoff of the game. Dan Ashworth has parted ways with the club. The sporting director, they paid a £10 million buyout clause to Newcastle for.
Yeah.
After just 5 months worth of work, he's gone. His gardening leave, right? Because once this deal was agreed, Newcastle put him on leave.
Right.
Right? So in the UK, they call it gardening leave. So his gardening leave was actually the same amount, if not more time, than the time his actual new job was.
Wow.
Like, it's fucking... I told you, next weekend is El Clasico in Spain. I shared this meme on the closed group, Drunkard United FC on Facebook, if you all want to find it. All the bants are happening there, okay? I shared that meme. El Clasico's next weekend. Guess what else is next weekend? The Manchester Derby. And I said, a lot of good fixtures in Spain next weekend. Guess what I'll be stuck watching? Barnum v. Bailey. The fucking circus derby.
Yeah, no shit.
And
absolutely.
This was no different. I mean, the whole performance, the whole weekend of news coming out of United is fucking absurd. The defending is fucking absurd.
Well, what happened in the start of the second half? Your biggest pet peeve.
They fucking gave him another goal.
Right.
Morgan Gibbs-White scored.
Right away.
It's just
good hit from White. Good hit.
It was a good strike,
but preventable.
Absolutely preventable. There's no reason. The only thing that was more preventable than that is if Cucurella had some proper fucking boots on in their game. It's the Steven Gerrard FC game.
Yep, exactly.
Old slippy slips.
And then of course they get the third goal. Chris Wood scores again, and that one was fucking comical to watch. Center backs just look up and look at the ball and go, where's it going?
Right 2 inches from my face.
Fucking the old fucking points at shit.
Harry Maguire pointing at shit. Yeah.
Look at that going in
So
the goal.
stupid. And you know what that makes Chris Wood, which is really weird because he doesn't score that many goals, like in the grand scheme of his career. Right. I know he's on a tear this season.
Right.
He is now the joint top goal scorer for 2 Premier League clubs. He's only the second player in Premier League history to do that.
Really?
Do you know who the other one is?
No.
Alan Shearer for Newcastle and for Blackburn.
Yeah.
He's the all-time Premier League leading goal scorer for Burnley and now Forest. Yeah. Now that looks like, and this was also the first time they beat United in 30 years at Old Trafford. Mm-hmm. Now that sounds like, as a sentence, that they've been playing United every season at Old Trafford. Mm-hmm. They obviously haven't been. It's been a very long time since they've had to do that, minus the last season or 2. Yeah, I mean, good on him. He's absolutely fucking killing it. He's on a tear, and you can't do anything about it. Bruno Fernandes gets one back as a consolation. But again, United don't really look like they were turning the screw too much. 71% possession in the game, and I think they had only one more shot on target than Burnley. Or then that got all Chris Woody in my head again. Mm-hmm. Then Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Forest, 3 shots on goal, 3 goals. What you worried about? It's a fucking job done.
Fucking effective.
It's just good. 100% we win? Great.
Yeah. What do you call that? Doing work. That's what we call that. So, very simple.
But from United, it's just absolutely pitiful at home, man. It's just not good.
This starting lineup and this formation is more what the new coach is working towards, whatever the hell his name is. And the thing that's very notable is there's really no place for Rashford in this lineup.
Well, but he was one of the ones that had played well the last 2 games.
Right.
Then left him out.
And then the other thing is there's no real place to put Bruno Fernandes in this lineup.
They are a bit unbalanced.
It seems like there's just so much work that this has to be done at this club. It's insane, the amount of work. And to think if the United faithful are going to keep being what they are and talk about the glory years of Sir Alex and everything, it's like, y'all need to settle down. This club has been fucking ripped apart. And if it wasn't for the fact that it is the most known club in the world, the wealthiest club in the world, this team would have suffered the fate of Leicester and would have been relegated.
Probably.
Because it's this simple fact that they have the ability to have so much money that they can get whatever they need. But even then, it is a goddamn disaster.
What did they finish last season? 8th place or something? 10th place or something like that?
8th place.
It's just like, no, they're in the Europa League somehow.
Yeah,
So it
because
must have finished
they
in
won the
seventh.
FA Cup.
Oh, that's right. They won the FA Cup, so they finished below and knocked out Newcastle. Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's ugly. Rasmus Højlund came out and said, "Yeah, we're trying, but Amarim's tactics are a lot to take in."
We saw a couple of matches seemingly in control change hands in the last 5 minutes as one team finds a way to get points and another finds a way to give them away. Leicester City 2, Brighton 2, Bournemouth 2, Ipswich 1. The Seagulls controlled the bulk of this match. I mean, flat out controlled the bulk of the match. And they had both of their goals were fucking just beautiful fucking goals.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, it just...
Lamptey's goal was excellent.
Seemed like they had it all together. Like they were going to be fine. Everything was going to be fine. And then the 85th minute happens. And then Jamie Vardy just goes, "No, fuck you. That's not how shit's going to work."
No, we're in my house. We're in my den.
Yeah.
My Fox's den.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. But Lamptey, the opening goal was phenomenal.
Gorgeous.
What a fucking goal that was.
Just took it on himself and ripped it.
Could be the shortest player in the Premier League as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fantastic. Well-deserved lead for Brighton as well because they were good value for money.
Oh, they were all over him. They just couldn't put the ball in the net.
But that did for a little bit after, 5-10 minutes after that goal. It looked like it was going to be the only goal of the game for a minute.
Yeah.
Things got a bit stale. Brighton just went, we haven't been playing very well lately. Let's just hold where we're at. And Leicester went, 1-0's probably a good scoreline. Everybody else is fucked up.
Yeah.
So everybody just kind of stared at each other for a second.
Right.
And then Brighton went, you know what? Minta, who scored the second goal, was a phenomenal goal.
Peach.
Just went, fuck you. It's my game now.
Yeah.
Look at me. This is my game now.
This is my game now.
And he went and scored the fucking a beauty of a goal. But then Bobby De Cordova-Reid and Jamie Vardy just went, no.
Yeah.
This is our fucking party.
Motherfucking Vardy, go to Vardy, man.
That's right. So Bobby De Cordova-Reid squaring for Jamie Vardy to put to drag one back for Leicester, and then a great ball into the path of Vardy's run. He squares the ball for De Cordova-Reid to and turn provider, and he put right on the stroke of 90 minutes. But that was only 4 minutes and 30 seconds after Vardy had scored his goal.
Yep.
So it was real quick, bang bang, psych. You're not getting 3 points.
Yeah, we're getting one. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
and we're gonna keep ourselves out of the relegation zone, and we'll be just fine. Thank you very much.
But they were very Ruud van Nistelrooy goals.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else does stuff. Get it to me on the edge of the 6.
Yeah, I'll put
Kind of
it
thing.
away.
Anywhere between the penalty spot and the 6, I'm there.
Yeah,
And both of those goals happen the exact same way.
yeah. The quintessential fox in the box.
It's
Get
very
give
Ruud van
the ball on-
Nistelrooy
Give me
stuff.
the ball on my foot
Yep.
inside the box, and I will make sure it's in the back of the net.
And it's just what they seem to do. And he was so chuffed. He went and hugged a random guy in the stands. I don't know if you saw that. But he ran over and just like gave a high five to a fan. And then the guy just opened his arms up and Ruud just hugged him.
Love
Fucking
it.
get in there.
Fucking like big dunk fucking hugging ball boys. And
Yeah, it's
shit.
just weird.
Fucking
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's like, go fucking have a hug. Give me a cuddle.
Gotta say, it feels like the Van Nistelrooy effect. It's working on these guys. It's it's let's see where we are at the end of December, right? Because I still subscribe to the fact that I don't think this is a very good team, but I feel like Van Nistelrooy is offered some fire in the belly, which is exactly what Vardy needs, and they will all do what Vardy does, because if they don't, he will headbutt every fucking one of them in the locker room.
So here's where I'm going to disagree. I think Leicester are the best of the 3 promoted teams.
Right.
I've told you this before.
Right.
They have the most Premier League experience in their ranks, period.
Yeah.
Right? That's number 1. Number 2, they have Jamie Vardy, which he's not going to let standards slip. And that's where they did pick up a couple of points under Steve Cooper. The problem is that we've seen over the last week, and I found out about it too late to include it in the show on Monday last week.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester's team had their Christmas party pre-planned after they lost the game Steve Cooper got sacked in. So I think it was 2 weeks ago. They had flown to, I believe it was Copenhagen, might have been Stockholm, but I'm pretty sure it was Copenhagen. Flew to a club as a team for the team Christmas party, essentially. They were pictured at that party with one of those dry erase light up boards, so like it's clear and you write in a neon ink.
Right. Yeah,
but it's still a dry erase thing.
Yeah.
Holding up a sign that said, Enzo, we miss you. So I think they weren't exactly putting in a full shift for Steve Cooper.
Yeah, that sounds...
Now all of a sudden, they've picked up a win and a draw under Rude as soon as Steve Cooper's gone.
Yeah.
I think they probably still have the best chance of staying up of the three. I think they're still in trouble.
Yeah.
But I think now they have a manager that has proven, obviously, Premier League experience, that is a bit of a shithouse. So he knows exactly what's going on in Jamie Vardy's mind.
Right.
It's a perfect manager for him. Yeah, do your shit. I like that. That's great. Fucking look what I did to Martin Keown.
Yeah,
like they fucking come back and forth, right?
Right.
Let's compare notes. I think that all makes total sense. He did fairly well at PSV, but it was a very small sample size.
Right, of course.
So we don't know exactly how he is as a manager, but I do think they have a good opportunity here.
Well,
I really do.
And I would say, considering the way today's result went, I think Wolves are going to have a harder time getting out of it than we thought.
I think they may be
initially
managerless come the time you hear this podcast.
Yeah, I would not be surprised by that.
Like on actual pod app.
Now, where Brighton's game kind of got stale, Ipswich came out swinging. The Tractor Boys came out swinging, and they were swinging the entire fucking match. And it's a shame because they threw everything at Bournemouth, and probably hard done to not be up by more than one goal when the wheels fell off at the end. They were the better side for large parts of that game.
Most of the game.
They pushed the tempo the entire time. The only thing they couldn't do was get a second fucking goal.
We'll say huge missed opportunity. Kid's last name is Chaplin. Celebration should be everybody goes silent, and he does like a little ditty, just silent.
I see what you're doing there.
Rumor has it he's the great-great-grandson of Charlie.
Oh, okay.
He's not.
No. Well,
it's funny, though.
Real quick, though, Charlie, well-known, renowned womanizer, so not out of the realm of possibility.
Could be. Could be.
He sired a lot of children.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. Chaplin? Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
A big old womanizer.
They didn't even know where he was from. He was like one of those very few sovereign citizens or whatever they're called. People with no country. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Died in France, I think.
Believe so.
Ooh, it was close to England, didn't it?
We're getting away from the topic, Mr. Graham.
I wasn't too excited about the game, to be honest. I was also trying to find a Ed Sheeran song about love and loss and how they lost the lead, and I just couldn't be asked after about 32 seconds of an Ed Sheeran song, so I quit. I was trying to find a fucking reference, and it wasn't good. But great composure from Connor Chaplin to get that first goal. I think Bournemouth could have had a penalty. But cooler heads prevailed on that decision. The ref, I don't know if you noticed, on that particular play, he looked like he brought his whistle to his mouth, was about to point to the spot, then was like, I'll let VAR sort it. You saw the cogs turning in his head, and there was Ipswich had a break on. So then he starts turning and running with the play. But he was a tall, lanky, goofy-looking motherfucker, and his run, watching all of these star athletes around him just gallop with intensity and look all sexy and shit. He just looked like a pale, goofy fucking dickhead. And it really made me smile. And then, again, nothing happened until the 86th minute. Muric put himself in a more than awkward position.
Jesus, that was such a bad play.
I don't know the decision-making process that goes on in that man's head, but he regularly puts himself in shit positions.
Oh, yeah.
And this was no exception. Ball got lofted over him and then easily put away.
Yep.
For the equalizer. And then... it ended up being an own goal. That's right. Yeah. And then Dango Wantara got at the final minute of stoppage time, just got the goal to win it.
Yeah.
It's such a sickener. I understand, like, he makes some good saves here and there, but like he makes such shit decisions. And you've got some people sitting on the bench, like, pick up Jose Sa.
Yeah.
He's not going to play for Wolves again after his display the other day, but he's better than fucking Muric.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go find Dubravka sitting on Newcastle's bench.
Yeah.
Go try to get somebody. I hate him almost as much as Wout Faith. I'm getting closer to...
our third string goalie is Begovic.
Yeah.
We have Pickford, Virginia. Virginia doesn't play at all. Begovic definitely doesn't play
Pick
at
up
all.
Matt Turner.
Yeah. Like there's
From
you could
Forest.
Someone.
I'm so close now to completing my chaotic 11 for the Premier League, and maybe next international in March I might reveal what my chaotic 11 are.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, but Cucurella is part of it.
Oh, definitely.
Especially after this weekend's display. The
Captain is Wout Faith.
Again, Wout Faith is the absolute captain of chaotic 11.
Captain.
Yeah, 100%.
Darwin Nunez has got to be up there.
Muric. Nunez is the best player in the team.
Yeah.
He's up front, but he is Captain Chaos.
Yeah.
That's right. There's so
Timo
many
Werner, if you need somebody coming in from the flank that's going to put
to
it
do
in Rowe's
nothing.
head.
Yeah. To bloody an old woman's face in the crowd. Yes. There's so many people that just, and obviously I'm not the epitome of health and fitness. I get it. But there's so many people in the Premier League that it seems nowadays that just, I don't know if it's nepotism. I don't know whose dick they sucked. I don't know what's happened. They should not fucking be there, man. They really shouldn't. And Muric is one of them cunts.
I wanted to give more, but you fucking finished that segment perfectly. When you know it's good, it's good. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Brentford 4, Newcastle 2, Villa 1, Southampton 0, Arsenal 1, Fulham 1, Chelsea 4, Tottenham 3, West Ham 2, Wolves 1. Brentford, it looks like they finally got their 3 up top scoring machine, like back when they were in the championship, when they had what they called was BMW, which was Buendia, Watkins, and Mopé. Mm-hmm. And it feels like with Wisa and Mbeumo and Shad, like they've got that little fucking scoring
WSM or WMS.
Yeah. But they've got it. They've got it again.
Yeah, they do. Because all three of them hit in this one, obviously. It only took them almost 7.5 minutes. I mean, a lot of that was Newcastle's fault. Again, this was like the weekend of no defending. It was like all the defenders are on holiday already. I just, and as a defender, and I'm sure as a goalkeeper, you're looking at this going like, you'd be fucking furious at me if I played like this. And we just did our fucking indoor and Sunday league type stuff. And if I defended in this manner, like most of the things that we've talked about, United, the cities weren't particularly good. Talk about Brighton, the way they gave up some. Like, if I defended like that, you'd be fucking screaming at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't understand. They just backed off and let Mbeumo have the fucking freedom of their own stadium.
So I will say that's the one thing though for the Bees is they're definitely a different team in their building than they are outside of their building.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
massive. And because this team could be really in the discussion for Europe if they were at least average
away from home,
building, but they're not.
Well, I told you, Villa hadn't won in what was it, 7 or in the league, or whatever it was, and I had them in my bet last week to beat Brentford, and they sure enough fucking did, because they were at Villa Park.
I'm completely baffled by Newcastle United. The team is relatively healthy. They have their pieces.
Why can't Amarone get a game?
Why? Oh, he look.
Yeah, but last season he was awesome.
Yeah,
Give him a little run.
But no
can't be worse than what's out there right now.
It just seems like no one's, particularly defensively, they just seem fucking lost. And I know Botman's coming back, but Burns done a decent job filling in next to Shar in the
Had
middle.
a goal line clearance in this one as well. Could have been worse.
Well, it's they go and they play these fucking massively phenomenal performances against Arsenal and Liverpool, and then this dog shit.
Yep.
They're so fucking confusing. Like, this team is good enough to be battling for a Europa spot. They're good enough to be in 5th or 6th place. They're in fucking 12th.
Yeah.
You know, they're just they're so fucking confusing. They really are.
It just doesn't make sense. It really does. You're absolutely right.
The talent and the coaching and their tactics are way better than what their results are.
Oh, yeah.
And they just seem to, like, we talked about how they started the season, it seemed like they were sleepwalking, and then they started to get it together and then go right back to sleepwalking. Like, is it when they play a certain team, when they're not playing one of the big teams, they just can't get up for it? And if that's the case, that's a fucking culture problem. Like, you guys got to be fucking ready to go. Mm-hmm. Because particularly, you know, last year was a lot of, the world against us. You know, we're not allowed to spend any money. We're not allowed to do anything because, we finally have money, but financial fair play doesn't,
won't let us do it because it wasn't naturally generated or whatever through the stadium or through the club.
But then you lay fucking dog turds like this fucking match. And it's just like, again, for me, of all the teams in the Prem, this team fucking baffles me the most. Just hands down. I watch them play and I'm just like, why is your record what it is? Mm-hmm. You should be way better than this. What the actual fuck?
Yeah, like, what are you guys doing? I think they're, because of part of the financial fair play rules and them not being allowed to do a ton, I think I've heard some rumors that the Saudis are starting to lose interest.
Oh, no.
It hasn't really been reported by any major publication. I've heard these kind of murmurs through supporters and some other people I know. And if that's the case, that could absolutely decimate the club. So they're going to sell it at a cut rate price, and it ain't going to help nothing.
And some Mike Ashley type comes back through
another
again.
Person like that. Yeah, it just ain't going to be good. A lot of the stadium, not the stadium redevelopment, I think some of that did happen, but like the investing in the town and the city and all that kind of stuff. Well, if I can't spend money on my plaything, then I'm not doing that. So some of those promises have kind of gone by the wayside so far, and it's not great up there. And with that, they can't recruit, and if they can't, I think they were a victim of their own success. Really, they finished well ahead of schedule in terms of the rebuild and finishing those Champions League places, but the money wasn't spent appropriately, if at all.
Remember the last time they had had such a great season, and then within a few seasons after that, Rafa's their coach, and Rafa's their coach knowing they're going down, and ended up finding themselves in the championship.
But half of this, they've bought the best players from shit clubs is how they've supplemented their squad, right? And then some of the team selections, even still, like Anthony Gordon was the best player at Everton. They bought him. Took about a half a season to get going at Newcastle. Finally got going. Now he's an England regular call-up.
Yeah.
It doesn't always play for England, like start for England. Sometimes comes on, sometimes doesn't. Easily Newcastle's best player this season beside Isak. Doesn't start this game. Comes on very, very late, if at all. I don't even remember if he came on.
I don't think he's gonna.
Some of the team selection has been strange. Jacob Murphy hasn't really given you much. Now, I know he provided an assist here, but other than that, hasn't really provided you much. Why not try Almiron again? Because Almiron didn't give you much in his first season. That second season came on and was fucking hellfire and brimstone. It was awesome.
I'm waiting for sure, Billy.
How did you know?
We're talking Newcastle.
He says the Tonali suspension didn't help, the massive injuries didn't help, and this year we are just fucking the dog.
Yeah.
But everybody's got injuries.
Came in at 60.
What?
I don't know, whatever your last question was. Memory's about 5 seconds behind us.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that he can't be so married to whatever tactics he has. He has to try something, do something different. Figure out a way that Guimaraes and Tonali can play together. Figure out how to fucking coach them properly so they can play together, because they're your two best players in terms of ball control. Figure it out. Fucking make it work. This is there cannot be, with how publicized it was and how obvious it was, there cannot be a Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard issue.
Right.
Fucking work out how to play. Coach them to play together.
All right, let's keep it rolling. These next two, and I'm holding your feet to the fire on this one. I'm going to make you keep it short about your team because it was a dog.
I only wrote
match.
3 sentences.
Villa and Southampton was an absolute snoozer of a match. I mean, it was a great goal from Duran, and hey, you got 3 points, Villa. You needed 3 points, but
It was a lot of dry humping.
God, it was not a fun match.
I don't even know. It was dry humping with jeans on, so like the zipper was digging into your vein.
Ollie Watkins definitely has chafing.
It was horrible. The game was horrible. I mean, it started off with shit and then some more shit, and then Southampton tried to give Villa a goal again with the goalie trying to pass the ball to the edge of his 18 to a guy that was covered.
No fewer than 4 times where we had an open goal and couldn't score.
Yeah.
It was a boring watch. We both were sitting there and we were
terrible.
playing on our phones and look, Watkins missed another opportunity.
It's like they picked up company, they paid for company. Company is there, laying on the bed, legs akimbo, and still can't score.
But big surprise, though, it was another defensive error.
Mm-hmm.
The first defender that was covering on Duran's run from the long ball should have cleared, didn't, let it bounce. The second defender miscontrolled it. Duran slapped it around him and then moved him out the way. And one little shoulder bump later was fucking clean in and finished well. I mean, and that was the only goal of the game. It was not a good watch. Absolutely.
And dumb injuries.
And also, another not good watch, fucking Fulham and Arsenal. That was a dog shit game. It was not a fun watch at all. I mean,
it's a great watch if you like foreplay.
Yeah.
Because nobody fucked in the game. But some of the football in the build-up was decent. As soon as it got to the edge of 18, everybody just shit their pants.
Yeah.
Just was not fun.
Really, it's the talking point of this game is more that you guys dropped an opportunity to gain points on City, stay even with Chelsea, and even though it's a game in hand, it is a derby. Gain a few points on Liverpool.
What everybody would assume, because Liverpool do have a better squad than you, what everybody would assume is stay even with Liverpool when they finally play this game.
Right, precisely.
But
and
as Arsene Wenger said years ago, it's better to have points on the board than games in hand, no matter who they're against.
Right.
So it would have, the league table would have shown us a hell of a lot closer to Liverpool than we are currently.
So really, within this match, the key point is just that it was an opportunity fucking lost by Arsenal.
Yeah, Fulham had one chance and they took it.
How well Arsenal has been playing, they seemingly had gotten out of it. And you had mentioned Odegaard and just the tackle took him out.
There was a tackle that caught him on the ankle a bit, and he looked visibly distraught, and from that point forward was a lot less energetic.
Yeah.
And our left side is Jurriën Timber is probably our best right back. Ben White gives him they offer different qualities. They're both probably equal overall. But having to, with the injuries we have and Arteta not trusting Tierney, who is the only other fit left back, moving Timber to left back and sliding Thomas Partey to right back, we lose something in midfield.
Right. Partey's been fantastic in the middle.
Yeah, and Jorginho was still a good player, plays slower.
Right.
And we could not move the defense around fast enough. But, part of that was Jorginho taking his time on the ball.
Yeah.
And our right side lacked a bit. And it wouldn't surprise you to learn that that's where the initial ball came from.
Yeah.
That opened us up for their one chance.
Yeah.
Which Raul Jimenez, to be fair to him, took with a plum.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
Arsenal's play down the field was okay, and then every final ball just lacked. And that was it, really. And our left side is garbage. Like I said, if Timber on the right or Ben White on the right, we could rotate. That's squad depth. That's great. We have no left backs, which is why we kept moving people out of position. And Ben White had his surgery, so he's not been available. That's where I say we need Anthony Robinson. He was excellent. Largely shut Saka down, to be honest. I mean, Saka, he has quality. He had a couple of chances, a couple of opportunities, but largely Anthony Robinson dealt with him pretty well.
Yeah.
But he's one of the league's best left backs this season. Anthony Robinson. I've been super impressed with him. Mm-hmm. And Fulham were good value for money. They were organized. They were on it. They countered in the right manner and kept Arsenal on their toes. And then our final ball is just shit. It's just shit. It was just shit. And that's how it goes. And you end up with a 1-1. I can't wait for this fucking daylight offsides rule because I'm not sure what advantage he gained out there on the left-hand side with half a foot offside. Mm-hmm. But apparently it's enough of one to discount a goal, which is, yes, the rules. Right. Still annoying.
Spurs give up a 2-goal lead.
That's funny.
That
gave me some solace this weekend.
Well, here's the one thing that needs.
Well, first off, start at the beginning. They were gifted a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, because
somebody couldn't get their feet right.
Yeah, no shit.
Here's the other problem I found out about. I saw this video about 3 minutes before I got here. Those were the brand new, about to drop promotional boots from Puma. Not only did this happen. They signed him up, probably, a fair few quid to wear them.
Right.
Not only did what happened, and then he changed his boots. Mid-game, Mel. Didn't even ask for a stoppage, just ran to the side while they had possession to change his boots. He posted a picture on Instagram that's since been deleted of his boots in the trash can.
Yeah.
Literally in the trash can of the changing room. It's water bottle, Cucurella's initial boots.
Yeah.
That can't exactly be good for the ad campaign.
No, not at all. No, not one bit.
It's been deleted, like I said, so his agent saw it and got on him about it. Because you're about to cost us a couple $100,000.
Yeah. We were getting paid for that, motherfucker. Now we're not.
What an advert. And they were soft grounds.
Yeah.
I thought they might have been firm ground. And with Dara fucking everything up, drunken Irishman coming through, the firm grounds obviously would be slipping and sliding. No, they were proper soft ground boots. I mean, they had, 1.5-inch metal studs.
Right.
It just wasn't hitting.
Just did not.
Just wasn't hitting.
Just good old Gerard slip.
To be fair, his slips, Steven Gerrard Jr. Gifted possession. But there was still a lot to do for those opening 2 goals. Mm-hmm. The cross from Brennan Johnson was excellent. That found Dominic Solanke to open the scoring. And then Dejan Kulusevski still needed to beat another player and rifle into the far corner. He cut it near post. Still had to beat the keeper as well. And they took their chances very, very well. And then, again, took a shit in their pants.
Chelsea yes, Palmer scores a lot of goals for him, but it's anyone. It's seemingly anyone on the pitch can put the ball in the back of the net for that team.
At the moment, yeah. They're playing with a lot of confidence.
That is real fucking scary when you're playing someone and you focus in on one and then somebody else puts one in. And then somebody else puts one in. And then if there's penalties, he's scoring. It's almost as locked as Ivan Toney was.
But then again, you come back to defensive errors. How many players does Jadon Sancho have backing off of him as he's strolling to the edge of the box?
Right.
2, 3 at least.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest football that's ever been played to get him to that position. Why doesn't somebody confront him?
Right.
What are they doing?
Also, for a team that presses as much as Spurs do, why don't they press
And they had
down
their best center back pairing back for this game.
Yeah.
And then promptly lost them again.
Yeah, because they both got fucking hurt.
It's so stupid. Rushed them back for no reason. Exactly right.
Yep.
But Jamie Carragher on whatever channel had the game, I heard a quote from him, and I'm sure people have seen it online because it was very funny. Mm-hmm. But the quote was, "If it was in relationship to Postecoglou's in-game management," and he said, "If I wake up every morning, if the sun's shining, I throw on my shorts, throw on my t-shirt, my trainers, and I go for a run. But if it's raining, I put a fucking jacket on." Mm-hmm. Do something different.
Right.
Change.
Right.
Because you gave the fucking game away.
Right. You did. You absolutely did.
Two nailed on penalties for me, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Palmer obviously finishes the first and then absolutely just fucking disrespects everyone involved. But the person that got the cum on their face was Fraser Forster, obviously, with the Panenka.
Well, and also, I'm not surprised that he did something cheeky like that, because in the first half, every time he went to go take a corner, he had a rain of trash being thrown at him by the Spurs supporters.
Everyone that took a corner, and the goalkeeper at the start of the second half was cards and papers and everything was just flying on cups, flying onto the field.
Fucking
and Cole Palmer,
Spurs.
that second penalty, runs like, kind of my cold thing, and then fucked off from the Chelsea supporters and ran to the very obviously quiet Tottenham supporters and started doing one of these numbers with his his hands cupped on his ears, and they weren't saying a goddamn word, and actually surprised nobody threw anything again. But it's just Postecoglou's being way too bullish about changing shit.
Right. Agreed.
You're not Pep, bro.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not Pep. You don't have that credit in the bank. You have to fucking do something different. And they just aren't doing anything different.
Today's match, very cagey. You could tell the tension. You could tell it was two teams realizing that whoever lost their coach is probably getting sacked. Like, you could see that in the game. So it made for an interesting watch. It didn't necessarily make for a very good game.
Oh, no, it was a terrible game. And I labeled it the none of the rest of us give a fuck derby.
Yeah. It was...
We don't care. This is watching two bald men fight over a comb. Fight for 19th place. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was. You could feel the tension in the game. You could see the relief in the players when goals were scored.
Yep.
Like, you could sense all that. It didn't necessarily mean that it was very good football, though.
No, not at all. There were decent chances, though, in the opening stages for both teams that neither one of them took. But a goal that shouldn't have happened. This was a lot like that header from Chris Wood in Manchester United,
right,
from Thomas Souček.
Yep.
Where was the person on the post?
Yeah, just
stay in your position, and it's not a goal.
That's not on Johnston. Like,
no,
he was positioned correctly, and if his defender stays on that post, it gets headed right off the line.
It's just another fucking mistake.
He probably doesn't jump and go for it because he knows his guy's there to head the ball away. Like,
now, right, exactly. Now, I've never noticed this, but Matt Doughty equalized. Well-timed run, decent finish for his goal for Wolves. In his celebration, I never realized how kind of thick he was.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a more lax bro player in the Premier League than Matt Doherty? Seems like a huge lax bro. He's got the kind of thick beard, got the fade, but it's real long on, not long, but long on top. Thick, kind of bulky.
Sunglasses with croquis.
Oh, yeah. Big
definitely,
time. Yeah.
Definitely wears his hat backwards.
Uh-huh. Only wears quarter zips outside of his uniform.
Yeah. It's and
super lax broy, right?
Bowen with a great finish.
Wonderful feat.
It was
Mohamed Kudus had two great finishes. Too bad they didn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously a bit rusty following his 8-game ban or whatever it was for punching someone in the face.
Punching everyone in their face.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's more than one.
He punched a lot of people
Cole Palmer. One of the best things I heard about Cole Palmer, actually, to take it back for a second, was he's simplicity at his best.
Right.
Because he's dumber than Jack Grealish. So somebody said, it's like when he talks about taking a penalty, he always says, like, yeah, I mean, I'm only 12 yards out. Why wouldn't I score? Right? Like, he can't even understand why you're asking him that question. But then somebody asked him something else about, like, what's your favorite food or something. He, like, didn't understand it. Like, he's daft as fuck, that kid.
So clearly there needs to be not just a chaos all team. There needs to be a crayon eating all team.
Oh, yeah. Ross Barkley and Cole Palmer, co-captains.
Sure money.
Like a tree in the forest, my friend. Like a tree in the forest.
I like how the button's green like money.
How'd it go for you there, Mr. Graham?
I don't even know anymore, bro. pretty much every leg I had lost,
Yeah.
and they were all sure things.
Yeah.
So I'm down 1,400. How'd you do?
Oh, I got fucked. Newcastle fucked me. Yeah,
Big time.
It didn't go so well. Didn't
Happy
go
to
so
hear that.
well. Yeah. But
Go fuck yourself.
but I am still up $195.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Did you know 21.4285714% of the time? It works 100% of the time. Stud.
Nice.
I'm going for a nice simple bet, and if it doesn't work, it be funny because someone got fucked over, and it'll make me giggle, so I won't hate losing it. I'm doing four-way of the top four. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and City to win at plus 223. And if that doesn't hit, that means somebody fucked off, and that'll be funny. So I'll be either way. I'll be
Still
happy.
be happy. Yeah.
I'll be very happy.
I gotcha. All right, so I have
9-way parlay.
just 6.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal over Everton.
Okay.
Over
disagree
2.5
with that.
goals in the game.
It's at your building. I don't disagree with that
Exactly
at all.
right. Liverpool over Fulham. Over 2.5 goals in that game.
Don't disagree with that one.
Forest or draw with Villa. And under 3.5.
Okay, is that at the City Ground or is that at Villa
I
Park?
think it's at the City Ground.
Okay, yeah, that's
Under
okay.
3.5.
That's a fair
is
shout.
in that one as well.
Okay,
Plus 566.
all right,
I like it.
yeah.
That's good.
It's a well thought out bet. And what'll
Not
end up
gonna hit.
happening is Everton will end up winning.
No, they won't.
Happy. I'll be happy and we'll all giggle.
Y'all are shit. They won't win.
No.
No, Villa's gonna win, and it's gonna be 5-4 is what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna fuck. I'm gonna miss both of those legs, and that's what's gonna fuck me.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, any parting words?
Yeah, we should spare a thought for Mikel Antonio. Obviously, the West Ham striker or right back, depending who you talk to in this group, Smokey. West Ham's number 9. That can't be argued because he does wear the number 9. Was in a terrible car accident over the weekend in Essex, presumably on the way to training or something. No cause yet. No anything else. Seemed to be a single vehicle accident. There wasn't anybody else named that I saw injured or hurt or any other concerns. He was airlifted to a London hospital and remains there. The update from this morning that I heard was that he's had surgery on a lower limb. The rumors that are going around are that he broke his femur, but the official club statement is that he is stable. He was communicating as of Saturday afternoon, which he got in the accident Saturday morning.
Right.
He was stable, awake, and communicating. And then no further comment. And then this morning, they said that he had the surgery on a lower limb.
Mm-hmm.
All of the supporters groups that I've seen, Smokey's been in touch about it. A few others have said some things. It sounds like it's a broken femur, and he may have to retire.
Oh.
And that is absolutely fucking terrible.
Yeah. All-time Premier League goal scorer for West Ham.
Yep.
And just, I mean...
All around good guy. I mean,
very much an all-around good guy.
You know what's crazy is the last time he got in a car accident was still one of the funniest, greatest thing that's ever happened in the Premier League because he got in this car accident. It was nothing really. He nudged the side of someone's chimney at their house or whatever it was. But he got out of the car and he was dressed fully as Olaf or whatever, as a snowman, like on the way to a fancy dress party.
Yeah.
And it was just like one of those, that's fucking cute.
Yeah.
Like, that's totes adorbs. For this to happen is obviously an absolute fucking tragedy. And now stains why we laughed at him before and laughed with him before.
Right. Exactly.
Which kind of sucks. But you never want to see anybody get hurt. We talk about that all the time. There's an obvious sadness when another athlete goes down.
He
But
also just
for something like this, it's just horrific. It's
a side note to that is he plays for the Jamaican men's national team. The World Cup's being hosted in United States, Canada, Mexico. They have all qualified because they're host countries. Mm-hmm. Damn good chance that
Jamaica should be fairly easy to get
into the World Cup, and then he would get an opportunity to play in a World Cup before his career was over. which is a
Yeah,
which
and
is a
he-
dream for every player.
And he waited to announce for Jamaica. I don't know, claim Jamaica, not claim.
Right.
That's I don't know. He waited
to Jamaica.
Commit is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, he waited a while to commit to Jamaica in the hopes maybe England would call, I guess. But Canada, a lot of the former Commonwealth nations have done this. We saw it with Junior Hoylett, who was
Canada.
born in Canada but raised mostly in England.
Yeah.
I think he chose Canada instead of England for just to play international football and ended up being a phenomenal footballer for Canada.
Right.
Legend for Canada.
And Canada's now made World Cups because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have people like Alphonso Davies that then go, oh, shit, like we can do this, right? There's somebody you see now who was playing for Bayern Munich last I checked, is still the Canadian captain.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw Jamaica especially was one of the nations this last cycle that did that. You have Leon Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Michael Antonio.
Damari Gray.
A fair few Prem regulars that play for their teams that consistently put up at minimum okay numbers, if not decent numbers, should be able to come into CONCACAF and make a splash. And he has. Like, he scored some goals for Jamaica, some important goals for Jamaica so far, and gave them something that's a bit different to what they're normally their long ball and run.
Yeah. What you hope.
But you hope he's okay. You hope the surgery can fix it enough that he can play again.
Be thankful he's fucking alive. If you saw how the car looked,
yeah,
like, my
absolutely.
God, he's alive. He's responsive. He's talking. Jesus, that's a miracle in itself.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But now that box is checked, you do hope for the man that he can continue his career, that he can have the opportunity to play in this World Cup, that it should all the rest of it go well. But it's so sad, and by all accounts, a good dude. Oh, that accident that he had when he was dressed as a snowman was like on the way to a charity fancy dress thing, kind of,
Yeah, exactly.
just always in it. Why he got dressed before he left the house, I don't know.
Right.
But which is what also makes it funny.
Right.
But
and endearing.
Yeah, and super endearing. Exactly right. Like, I love the guy. Like, he danced with a cardboard cutout of himself when he hit his 50th Premier League goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just, he's an all around just nice dude. And it's just super sad to see this happen. And I really pray for him and pull for him. And I hope you all do too.
All right, everybody. Next up is DU Does the EFL, where we talk about the rest of English football. And then after that is Injury Time, where we preview the weekend's action. We talk about the beers we were drinking. And we also check in on our fantasy clubs as well. So should somebody want to support the show, Mr. Graham, how do they go about doing that?
It's very easy. First of all, it's patreon.com/DU Football Show. Just sign up to that $5 tier. You get all the extra Sam's talking about. You could also head on over to the DU Drip Shack, which is where we have all of our merch, DUDripShack.com. That's an actual URL. You can type into your phone and find all of our shit, which is great. Mel's designed most of it, which is awesome. Well done. She has a new one she has to do. Apparently, people want some scarves. Did you see all those posts?
It's whether I can find a vendor, so I'm working on it.
Heard.
But we've got to be. We'll talk about it.
Probably can't just write cunt. That's the problem.
It's gonna get pulled from the store, guys. We got to be cool. Everyone be cool. You be cool.
Maybe D-back. We'll
Figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah,
But we'll make something happen. So we'll update you on that. But that's another way to support the show. Just with lots of other great merch over there.
And of course, the EFL show is FREE. And if you're on the stream, hang tight. We'll be right back, and you can watch that as well. Until next week, everybody.
Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smells of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United! hit the fucking mute button.